Hi, I'm Mark. This is Mark's Tech Vlogs on YouTube, and today I want to talk about the Ultion Nuki compared with the Ultion Nuki Plus. Now, way back in February of this year, I did a review of the Ultion Nuki, which is a smart lock that works with multi-point doors. They're the doors we have in the UK. We have to lift up the handle to lock it a little bit. Now, this isn't going to be a full review of either product. If you want to see the full review of the Ultion Nuki, that is linked below. But as way of a quick recap, the Ultion Nuki is a product partnership between Ultion the lock company and Nuki the smart lock company. And Ultion recently announced the Nuki Plus. And so I want to talk about the differences between the Ultion Nuki and the Nuki Plus in this video and help you work out which is the right one for you. What I'm not going to do in this video is go in depth to all of the features because 95% of the features between the two products are exactly the same. And so if you go back and watch my other review, you'll find out all of the features that you have with the Ultion Nuki. But let's start off and talk about what is new with the Nuki Plus. So the Nuki Plus has two key differences. Firstly, there is now a colour choice, so you can choose a white or black product. This differs because the Ultion Nuki just comes in white. And this colour choice affects the actual smart lock and also the handle. Secondly, the Ultion Nuki Plus comes with the Nuki 3.0 Pro, not just the Nuki 3. Why they've gone for Plus when it includes the Pro is just confusing. Of course, the other difference between the two products is the price point. So the Ultion Nuki costs £260, but the Ultion Nuki Plus costs £379. And so the real question if you're comparing these two is what do you get for the extra £120? And of course, these are products you can make more expensive when you add on extra features such as bridges and key fobs and keypads. So when I'm talking about these packages, I'm talking about the base package that comes with the handle, the smart lock, and the Ultion cylinder. So let's talk about the difference between the Ultion Nuki and the Ultion Nuki Plus beyond the colour and the smart lock you get with it. So what are you actually getting for that extra money? Essentially, that extra money is buying you the Nuki 3 Pro rather than Nuki 3. And if you buy the actual smart lock on its own directly from Nuki, the difference in price is roughly £100. So you can buy the Nuki on its own for £140 and the Nuki Pro for £245. So when it comes to comparing the Nuki 3 and the Nuki 3 Pro, what do you get for your extra £95? And this boils down to two things. You get built-in Wi-Fi and you get a rechargeable power pack. So the Nuki 3 Pro has built-in Wi-Fi and it also has the Nuki power pack built in with it. This means you can recharge it rather than having to use new AA batteries every time. Now the Nuki 3 doesn't have built-in batteries and it also doesn't have built-in Wi-Fi, which means it connects to your smart home via Apple's HomeKit, or if you're not an Apple user, you'll need the optional bridge that costs an additional £89. As I said in my original review video, if you're an Apple user, you don't really need this bridge because you can connect to Apple Home and then you get the out-of-home access thanks to whichever Apple device you've got that acts as your home hub. So for me, that's my Apple TV. That means if you buy the Ultion Plus that comes with the Nuki 3 Pro, what you get is built-in Wi-Fi and no need to have the bridge. The only thing worth noting about this if you are an advanced user is that you don't have access to the bridge API with the Nuki 3 Pro because that's not included in the Wi-Fi module. You do, however, have access to the web API. And personally, I think this is the more useful API because you're likely to use that outside of your home. If you have no idea what an API is, then you won't need the bridge if you've got the Pro with the Wi-Fi built in. And of course, the built-in Wi-Fi automatically gives you out-of-home access with the Nuki app rather than having to worry about an extra service such as Apple Home. And so other than that rechargeable battery pack and the built-in Wi-Fi, the functionality of the two is exactly the same. That means they work with Apple and Android, they work with a whole range of doors, and of course the Ultion Nuki is specifically designed for multi-point doors. That means they work with those locks where you have to lift a lock, although you still have to lift the handle. And if you need to pull down a little bit more and turn the key to actually unlatch the door when it is unlocked, then they work with that as well. So the Ultion Nuki and the Ultion Nuki Plus are very, very similar products. And so the question to ask is which one should you buy if you're thinking about buying one? And if you already got the Ultion Nuki, should you upgrade now the new product is out? So let's start off with that first question. So if you're trying to decide which version of the Ultion Nuki to buy and you're an Android user, then you probably want to go for the Plus. That's because in order to get out of home access, you're going to need to buy the optional bridge, which costs £89 anyway, and so you might as well spend that little bit more money and also have a rechargeable battery pack. Of course, the other advantage is that the Wi-Fi bridge is then built into your lock rather than you having to find another spare socket around your house. If you're an Apple user, it's a slightly more tricky question to answer, and it probably just depends on which features you want to have access to. Of course, the other reason you might choose the Plus over the Ultion Nuki is colour choice, and so if you really want a black one, you need to buy the Ultion Nuki Plus. So then the final question for this video is to say, well, what if you already have the Ultion Nuki? Should you consider upgrading? And the really simple answer to that is no. The Ultion Nuki package has the same handle included, it's got the same secure cylinder, and the only difference is the actual smart lock that comes with it. The only reason you might upgrade is if you desperately want a black one. If, however, the appeal of having a Nuki 3 Pro with the built-in Wi-Fi and the built-in battery pack is something that really interests you, you could just buy that separately. And because these devices are the same, you could just unmount the old one and mount the new one onto your door. That will cost you £240 rather than £360. So I hope you guys found this video helpful as a kind of comparison. If you've got any questions, do stick them below. I have actually been using the Ultion Nuki and the Nuki Lock with that for about 5-6 months now, and I'm still really happy with it, and it just works really well for me. It is also something that I purchased for myself and not something that was given to me to review by a company, and so it was a choice that I genuinely made as a buyer. I've put links below if you want to watch my original review of the Ultion Nuki, and I've also put purchase links to all of the products I've talked about in this video on Amazon. If you guys have enjoyed this video, give it a like, consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you guys again soon.